Hello everyone and welcome back to, this time, Killing Floor 2, and it has been a while since my last Killing Floor 2 video, and that is largely because, first off, Dawn of War 3 is a very exciting game for me, and second off, not much has actually been teased from the developers as to their future updates on the game, so really, there hasn't been much left to say other than get playing Killing Floor 2 and popping Z heads. But now, as of the, let me just see when this post was actually posted, on the 13th of April, the developers teased Setting the Stage, a forum post where, and I will leave links in the description for you to check this out for yourself, where they basically said, hey ho, the Descent update was very well received, we're glad you enjoyed it, and then went on to say that in addition to future weapons and maps definitely coming our way sometime in the future, I have to imagine sometime in the summer with a summer patch, that seems to be in line with their seasonal updates, they will also have a few other surprises in store that the team apparently has been working on since the start of the year. That is pretty much paraphrasing exactly what they said on this forum post. So, what does that exactly mean? Well, this is where it gets interesting, since they specifically mentioned that this would be a thing other than weapon and map updates. So the weapons and maps are fantastic. The core of this game is making fun weapons and then shooting Zeds with them. So anything that can gratuitously, violently murder a whole horde of Zeds is definitely a good thing, and adding more variation on that with more weapons to the game is pretty sick, as is adding new arenas, new maps, to do that horrific violence within. But since they specified that these surprises would be something other than weapons and maps, this is where it gets super interesting, as we can kind of return to the talk that I was having prior to the Descent actual release, where I was convinced that they would release a third boss character, a third boss to face other than Hans and the Patriarch within Killing Floor 2, since the game mode is still, even in the Descent mode, you play a bunch of rounds and then at the end you take on a boss and hopefully win, sometimes lose. And a third boss would definitely add variety, increased challenge, a new way to kind of tackle the game because you got to learn this new boss, their new mechanics, the optimal ways to take them down. And there was really a lot of hype around the potential of a new boss. I do believe I theorized that since the Patriarch is a very flexible mid-range kind of boss, he has his chest tentacle punch thing, so he's decent at close range, but he's also pretty effective at the long range game with his chain gun and his rocket launcher. And then you've got Hans, who is sort of a berserk mid-range character with slightly more of a focus on the melee than the ranged. Despite having grenades and his machine guns, he really does like to go just insane nuts and just wail on you with his sword arm things. And what does that leave us with, design space-wise? Well, it leaves us with a melee-focused, a close-range focused boss that does not exist yet in the game. So I kind of theorized that maybe they would release some kind of beast boss who is kind of on all fours, kind of heavily mutated, would kind of charge around the map, kind of manhandle your team, cause disruption that way. Very Left 4 Dead tank-like in that regard. I also theorized that the Matriarch might make an appearance since the Patriarch existed, and whatever the professor's name within the Killing Floor universe who started this whole Z-apocalypse, I'm pretty sure he was a married man, and therefore a Matriarch would definitely make sense, and would be pretty damn cool, if I'm not completely honest, since a female boss is always very interesting. You know, 2 male, 1 female, this female having a different fighting style, fighting stance to the 2 males, you know, that's going to be pretty cool if they actually add that. Really, we didn't receive any confirmation within this Setting the Stage post on the forums though, other than a bit of a Easter egg hidden within the actual post, which if you scroll down the forum, you'll be able to see everyone's figured it out already. Essentially, a few of the letters within this forum post, specifically the post that the devs themselves released via Yoshiro, the community manager, I do believe he is, the highlighted letters, the ones that have been input in bold and hidden within this text, when combined, they make the line, "You ready for a game?" Now, personally, I only managed to put together, "Are you ready for GAM?" But, you know, that's close enough. It's unlikely that they accidentally emboldened a bunch of letters that would lead to that sentence. Therefore, it sounds like they've given us a bit of a teaser, a bit of a clue as to the direction that they're going to go in. So, given that they have just released a new game mode, a new way to play the game with the Descent mode, maybe that means that they're less likely to do another game mode and more likely to do something else within Killing Floor 2. Therefore, maybe they're going to do a third boss. Hype! Will this be the Matriarch? Will this be some kind of beastie boy? Hell, will it be some stalkerish, completely invisible focused boss that just forces you to have a commando in the final round? I don't know. But it's still pretty exciting, and maybe the words that they even tease to us, "Are you ready for a game?" kind of tease the style of boss or the style of game mode that they're going to add, in addition to all the new weapons and maps. So, are you ready for a game? What does that make you think of? Personally, it makes me think of kind of Sander Cohen from BioShock style of just completely insane, off your rocker, trying to mess with the players, with us, and how could that translate into a new boss, into a new game mode? Well, potentially the Matriarch, if it is her, she might be completely insane, which seems likely if she's heavily mutated, and therefore might be wielding toxins that when they hit you, maybe it turns one of your teammates against the rest of the team temporarily, like it wrests control from them, or maybe just blacks out their vision, so if they shoot, they have a chance of hitting the friendly players, and it turns off friendly fire, or turns it on rather. That would be really cool, just playing with the team dynamic, because normally in Killing Floor 2 you are encouraged to stick together as a team on the higher difficulty levels. Therefore, a boss that would kind of punish that by turning one of your own against the rest of the group, that would be pretty damn fun as an idea. It would kind of suck for the people getting hit with these kind of toxins, but regardless, I would actually be behind that. That would be pretty fun to play with. Other than that though, if this does not end up being the Matriarch or a third boss at all, and they do an additional game mode, which personally I think is unlikely, just because it does split the player base kind of again after the Descent mode, it's possible that they have some kind of seasonal update that is based around, "Are you ready for a game?" themes that are based around just messing with us as the players. So, if I remember correctly, Killing Floor 1 did have a crazy horror circus holiday thing in the summer, which was quite cool. That was definitely fun. Naturally, all the Zeds got reskins. They played completely the same. This is how Tripwire seasonal updates tend to work. They reskin all the Zeds to be in line with the theme, and then do a specific map that is also, bang on with the theme. So they've done it with Christmas, with Santa Claus being, crazy, and also with the crazy carnival idea, and some other ones previously. But yeah, it's possible that they're going to go back to the Killing Floor 1 formula of doing seasonal updates, based on seasons and holidays, so Christmas, Easter, all kind of corrupted with the whole Z theme. So that would also be pretty sick, and wouldn't actually split the player base, as the game mode is exactly the same. You just queue up for a standard match, and if you line up on that map, then you will be playing against those kind of reskinned Zeds. So yeah, that would also be pretty sick. Other than that though, we don't really have much more information to work on. As I did mention, I will include links to this forum post in the description if you want to have a gander and see what everyone else is saying on the Tripwire forums. But yeah, there are definitely new weapons and definitely new maps confirmed to be coming. There's a chance that, similar to Nuked, the map that they added with the Descent update, that they will be pulling and officializing and updating kind of amateur-made maps. I don't want to call them amateur-made maps because a lot of the maps on the workshop are very high quality. But yeah, there's a very high chance that they're just going to continue kind of selecting the highest quality maps made by the community officializing them, tweaking them in the Tripwire office, and then re-releasing them as an official Killing Floor 2 map. So that, you know, can't wait for that. Or again, if they just make their own maps, that's also pretty cool, because, you know, professional map makers and stuff. This is what they're paid to do, and they're pretty damn good at it. But other than the weapons and the maps, like I say, there's definitely something in addition to those coming our way. Whether it's a new boss, a new game mode, just seasonal updates similar to those in Killing Floor 1, I do not know, since we are working with a dearth of knowledge, as this is definitely still very soon after the Descent update. So yeah, there's your little Killing Floor 2 bomb, as it were. If you weren't aware of this, then now you know, and it's definitely something to be excited about. But bear in mind that the Descent update, relatively speaking, only released a short while ago, so this big update that they're working towards and they're teasing to us, chances are won't hit for some time to come, at least a couple of months, definitely deeper into the summer I expect it to release. And yeah, that would fit with what we know so far. So, as always guys, thank you for watching, and I do appreciate you watching my videos. If you want to see more of this, do subscribe, and yeah, take it easy. Ta-ta!
That. Let's get you sorted, eh?
That's how you get this Billy Rockin'.